Okay, next we have some reader questions on the topic of all things president. Last year I was the fundraising chair, but took on and did most things. This year I'm the president and fundraising chair because we have not filled this position yet. We are fortunate that this year we actually have people wanting to volunteer. My problem is I don't know what to let go of because I don't know these people volunteering. There's so many things to get done, and I am subbing in school, and it's so much more to do in less time. I spend my time running in circles because I feel like I don't know what to do first. Okay, so one, I have totally been there. I have been in the position of having to do both fundraising and president at the same time for the same school, and it's not a good idea. It's just too much for any one person. So first, I empathize with you for having such a big job on your hand and feeling like you have to do it all. But I'm here to tell you, you do not have to do it all. You said you have some helpers, so I really start delegating tasks to them. And when anything feels like it's too big for one person, then the easiest way is to kind of chunk it up into smaller parts. And I totally get that you might be having some trust issues. You know that fundraising is so crucial for your PTO because if you don't have money, then you can't do things. And your PTO can never run into the red because you can't borrow money because you're a nonprofit. So I get that stress too. But at the same time, you are going to go absolutely bonkers if you don't have someone to help you or someone's to help you. So what I would recommend doing is chunking up the fundraising role into smaller parts and giving people a smaller part to kind of take care of. And real quick, you're going to see who you can depend on and who maybe has the right intention, but not the time to commit to things. The key to delegation is really being clear on what you're asking people to do and then giving them enough time to do it, giving them the tools to do it, and then following up with them. So when you delegate something, you're not just like throwing it off of your plate and onto theirs and hoping for the best. You're going to be wanting to check in with them to make sure everything's going okay. So sometimes, especially at the beginning when you have new volunteers and you're training them, it is going to take a little bit more time perhaps than what it would have taken for you to do it, but it will save you in the long run because you really want to be training those volunteers to step up and lead and take over so that you won't have to be doing it all. So for fundraising, you just want to think like, who can make a flyer? Who can draft some morning PA announcements for you? Who can decorate the bulletin board? Who can tack up the flyers around school? Who can put them in the teacher mailboxes? Who can schedule posts for social media? Who can copy the fundraising parent letter or the packet letter that goes home, right? So those are all different components of any fundraising campaign that any one person could do, but there's no reason why multiple people couldn't do it. Would I name off like 6 different things that someone could do? So that could be 6 different things for 6 different people to handle. And it won't seem like such an overwhelming task for the individual just to take care of 1 or 2 of those things. So that's what I would totally start with because none of those are make or break sort of things. And if they don't follow through, then you would certainly be able to ask somebody else to do it, or even you pick it up if all else fails. So that's actually where I would start, is focusing on your job as president and then delegating everything else, because the problem with being presidents or being a president is that it's not a problem if you have a full slate of helpers and they're all kind of firing on all cylinders and doing their thing. That's when life is easiest. It gets hard as president when you don't have roles filled and when you are trying to fill the gap, because the role as president is like enough when you have volunteers in all of those different roles. So anyway, I hope this is helpful and I will see you in the next one. Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All these resources and more are waiting for you at ptoanswers.com.